Okay, so today we have Morrissey and Jack the Ripper. Now you might say, Nick, you've reacted to this song before, 4 years ago actually. Yes, I did. But today we have it from Introducing Morrissey, which is a live concert, of course, and people suggested this and they said, you know, Jack the Ripper, how much more Halloween can you get than that? And I've never watched the live version, but from what I've read, I mean, so many people like his live version of this, and I don't know if it's just specifically this one or whatever live version it is, but again, this was requested. Either way, they like the live version more than the studio version of this song, and again, it's been 4 years. I've not really gone back to that song too much, so this is going to be kind of a new experience again for me. So we're going to get into this. This is from the whole concert, so I'm at the 25-minute mark here. He's not going to get right into it, but he will get there soon. So let's get into it, talk about it after. Here we go. I'll shut up now. Happy Halloween. And it's fun to hear people yell at him. What a riff. You gotta pop your head to it. My God.
Look so tired, mouth slack and wide, ill-housed and ill-advised. Your face is as new as your life has been. Crashing into my arms, you don't refuse. I know you, and I know a place where no one is likely to pass. I don't care if it's late, and you don't care if you're lost. Look so tired, but tonight you presume too much, too much, too much. And if it's the last thing I ever do, I'm not gonna get you crashing into my arms. You don't agree, but you don't refuse. I know you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess that's all. Pause it there. All right, there you go. Morrissey, Jack the Ripper, live, of course, from introducing Morrissey, like I said, February 7th and 8th, it says, so I guess this went past midnight, 1995. So my God, 30 years ago, can you believe that? I'm sure people who watch this probably saw that, maybe they were there live, maybe you were, I should say, maybe you were there live, maybe you heard about it anyway, now it's been 30 years, can you believe that? I wasn't even born yet. But Morrissey here, Jack the Ripper, like I said, I've reacted to the song, but hearing it live, hearing a song live, especially from Morrissey, it's just such a different experience. And I know it's just, it sounds like I'm fawning over the guy, of course, but I mean, I guess maybe I am. I mean, I've done so many Morrissey Fridays now, but just watching him play, watching the band play, and how Boz, I was going to say Morrissey or something, Boz Borer starts us off with that hypnotizing, slashing guitar riff that I, again, kind of forgot about, but I was like, once I heard that come in, I was like, oh, I kind of remember this now. It's, again, hypnotizing, and the only thing that really comes to mind that reminds me of it at all, or whatever, or, another song that, again, kind of reminds me of that tone is, like, the intro to Beetle Bum, maybe, from Blur, from Graham Coxon. I don't know, just that continuous kind of guitar tone anywhere, just that continuous guitar riff that starts everything off, and starts everything off with kind of a ominous feel, or kind of a dark feel, because that guitar tone, again, that riff is just very, I don't know, it puts you on your toes. It's a bit edgy. It sounds very cutthroat, I gotta say. It sounds cutting, all these things. And just watching Boz's face, kind of just straight faced, he starts off the track. Again, the mood lighting here, it's all dark. And then, of course, the lights come on to show Morrissey there when you really get into it. But then you get, after that guitar riff that starts it off, you get the drum in there from, I would believe it's Spencer Coburn on drums, who I've always talked about. That is probably my favorite drummer Morrissey's ever had. I don't know, and I always go back to his sound of the Operation. That's really what solidified that opinion for me. But of course, I do believe the song came from the album, the live album, whatever it is, from friggin' Beethoven Was Deaf, and around this time, the mid '90s, and just to hear it here, and again, as I was going to say, just to hear Spencer come into it here, and how he has such a rhythmic, timely feel, of course, and how he sounds kind of bombastic at different points, and I just liked watching him at different points, because I was looking at Morrissey the whole time, because I mean, he's the main attraction. Hello, he's the money, I guess, but looking back at Spencer, just over his kit, I don't know, those things are just interesting to me, and I guess maybe that's why some people say I like when you react to live performances, because you just seem like you're into it, and it's because I am. I don't know, I just always kind of try to look at everything, and looking at Alan White, I do believe I talked about Boz there, but looking at Alan on the other guitar, and looking at their hairstyles, again, they just, they all were just beautiful looking boys there, and just watching the play back and forth between when Alan would look at Morrissey, and Morrissey would look at him, or again, Morrissey would look at any of them, and just how they had such two great guitarists there between, again, Alan and, as I said, Boz. And that, I don't even know if I could say it, because I'm not that proficient at talking about music itself. And talking about, I don't know, just these specific words, but I would say, like, it was a descending kind of sound that, I don't know if it was either Alan or Boz was doing there, but one of them anyway, just that, I don't know, just that guitar there, and it just, again, it added to the whole ominous, menacing feel of the track. I mean, again, the track's called Jack the Ripper. We know about Jack, I believe 1888. I mean, he murdered 5 women and was never found, although I do believe this year or something they said they think they know who it was, and I don't think you're going to catch him now. He's probably, I would imagine he's dead. But yeah, it's just, so yeah, when you're thinking about the title here and how dark and ominous the song feels, it's obvious. But at the same point, I was going to say with Spencer's beat, I mean, it's danceable. And you saw in the crowd people dancing to a song like this, where again, Morrissey's kind of, crooning about, where he's almost being, he's almost embodying Jack a little bit, but I feel like it's less about Jack and more about kind of him just, I don't know if to say praying, but, trying to get to this woman, of course, or I say woman, whoever it is in his life anyway. Almost it seems like this person is almost, at their wit's end, and that's when Morrissey's going to pounce, or the narrator's going to pounce. And, anyway, I mean, I don't know what I said in my last reaction. Again, it was 4 years ago. I didn't watch it. I'm watching this now and listening to this now is a whole different experience, but I might be repeating myself, so I apologize. But at the end of the day there, yeah, danceable beat, and Morrissey sounding forceful, but also bashful at times. It just works so well. And to watch him, his passion for the audience, and watching the audience's passion for him, I know Morrissey isn't the biggest goddamn guy in the world, isn't the biggest musician in the world, whatever, there's bigger artists, but maybe it's just because I haven't watched, I guess, enough concerts, but so many people always go up on stage, even today. They go up on stage to shake his hand, or they go up to hug him and everything. It's just, I don't see that behavior with a lot of people that I watch, or, concerts that I watch. I'm sure it happens, but just, it seems like it always happens at a Morrissey concert where somebody gets on stage, like that person who came up to shake his hand. And I don't know why it made me laugh so much. I feel like it's because Morrissey just wasn't expecting it. All of a sudden he looks up and somebody's got their hand out and he just, shakes it. And he's just like, what the fuck was that? Anyway, but I found it funny. And then at one point you had the person who seemed to be crowd surfing. And this song, I don't know if this is a crowd surfing kind of track, but I don't know, again, kind of made me chuckle. And I like that when he talked about, I want you to crash into my arms. It showed the girl, I think it was a woman there in a guy's arms. So just kind of, it was kind of poetic that way. But yeah, just an edgy cut, not edgy in the way the lyrics are or whatever. I guess you might say that's edgy. Whatever, but edgy with the guitar work, especially cutting, hypnotizing, all those things come to mind, and just that slashing of the guitar, just that tone that just makes you feel, it feels cryptic, it feels creepy, and you're like, ooh, what's going on here? And again, the title is fucking Jack the Ripper. I mean, what the hell do you expect? So so yeah, I guess I've talked about everybody, and I didn't really talk about the bass work, but again, the bass work goes very well. I now thinking back, I was like, I really only paid attention to Boz, Alan, Morrissey, and Spencer. I believe there was a guy on bass on this track as well, I would imagine. Gary Day perhaps was doing it. I don't remember now, but my God, I guess I could go to the personnel here. Is there personnel for this album? Band. Gary Day, it says, was on bass on this, from the album that the song is from. Again, from Beethoven Was Deaf anyway. But there you go. I just like to give people their due. So there you go. Let me look at the lyrics now. I got too many freaking pages open. Here we go with the first verse. Oh, you look so tired. And again, you look so tired. Now it's my time to pounce. Mouth slack and wide. Ill-housed and ill-advised. Your face is as mean as your life has been. And again, it seems like, this person is kind of, going in at a time where it seems like, they're really, they're open, they're vulnerable. And again, I feel like that really happens because I think about Jack the Ripper and how he probably, pounced on vulnerable women, women who were alone, women who were at their wits' end, like I talked about earlier. And just him kind of almost embodying, even though, like I said, it doesn't feel like this is all about Jack the Ripper. It feels like off the get-go, though, this is some things that Jack the Ripper, kind of felt, you look vulnerable, let me get you. Then we have the chorus, crash into my arms, I want you, you don't agree, but you don't refuse, I know you. Again, it seems like these two people go, maybe not way back, but they know each other, of course, and that whole thing, like I talked about, he seems forceful, but also bashful, with the bashful part, please crash into my arms, I want you. And, there's two different sides to him. You don't agree, but you don't refuse. Again, I have a pull to you, and you don't agree, whatever, but you don't refuse. The whole point of also this person kind of being, again, like I talked about, at the end of their line here, and I don't know if we're talking about like a prostitute or what, and I don't remember who Jack the Ripper specifically went after, if it was, ladies of the night or what, but anyway, this person seems vulnerable, and now it's time to go in. They don't refuse, but they don't also agree. Again, he's just, obviously this is not a whole loving relationship. It seems like this is going to a dark place. And as we talk about place, and I know a place where no one is likely to pass. Oh, so you don't care if it's late, and you don't care if you're lost. You look so tired, but tonight you've presumed too much. And if it's the last thing I ever do, I'm gonna get you. Again, it's just, it's creepy, it's cryptic. Again, you do think about Jack the Ripper, of course. You do think about a serial killer here. You pick your poison for any serial killer, goddamn. But this person is vulnerable. How many times can I say it? They're at the end of their line. It seems like they're down and out. They've had enough, and this person is gonna pounce. The protagonist is gonna pounce on them. I want to say, Morrissey's gonna pounce, but I don't want to put him in that light, where he's gonna attack somebody like this. But they don't care. No one's gonna pass. I can have my way with you. It seems like in that way. You don't care if it's late. You don't care if you're lost. And again, maybe they might care a bit, but it seems like he's almost putting words in their mouth because again, he's a scoundrel. My goodness, the person that Morrissey's playing here is a scoundrel. Then we have the chorus once more, which again is just you don't agree, but you don't refuse. It's just so forceful, and it's just cryptic as hell. Then you have the third verse, and no one knows a thing about my life. And again, I think about the whole point of Jack the Ripper. No one knew who the hell he was. They couldn't find the guy. I can come and go as I please. If I want I can stay, or if I want you, I can leave. And I have the option, but it doesn't seem like that person knows me, or that person he's talking about, here knows that or has that option. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows me. And again, are we talking about here the parallel between Morrissey and the parallel between Jack the Ripper. Nobody knew who Jack the Ripper was. Maybe some people did, but they could never find the bastard. And with Morrissey, nobody knows me. Of course, we're talking about we're talking about love here. We're talking about a relationship of some kind because it's Morrissey. Hello. But yeah, nobody knows me, and it's almost a cry for help from Morrissey. At the same point, talking about nobody knows who Jack the Ripper was, but nobody knows me, nobody wants me, nobody loves me. Morrissey has talked about this thing so many different times in his songs. So yeah, it just works very well. The lyrics here, just elite, on top of his game for this track here, with the lyricism especially. I feel like I don't talk about that enough, with his lyrics, but it's just top notch here for these words, the rhyme scheme, of course, and just how cryptic things are, and how you just feel uneasy the whole way through, and how at the end of it, I'm gonna get you. And then the video when he says I'm gonna get you, and he's putting his hands into the crowd. I mean, everybody wants them to get him in that crowd. God damn. But there you go. I guess yeah. Like I said earlier, and like I've said many times now, did the song before, but doing it now, many years later, just a different experience, and it was fun. And I mean, it's Halloween, and you got Jack the Ripper here. How much more Halloween can you get? So thanks for requesting this. I went along with it. And leave your requests down below, of course, again, for whatever you want. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. I'm going to go eat now because it's 3 a.m. and I need some food in my body. So thanks for everything. I'll talk to you guys again soon.